Yeah,
Okay,
recording is
started.
recording.
Okay, we're all gonna clap in 3, 2, 1. You fucked it up, Adam. Not you. You're not on a different mic. Okay, we're all gonna clap again, but Adam in 3, 2, 1. And the FARCA Premier Series returns to Daytona International Raceway. You're looking here at our pole sitter qualifying on his fastest lap. This is Titus Strabawhatever going around the racetrack in his number 3 Toyota Camry. I am your host here, Ken Stout, and I'm joined with my partner,
Jim Porter.
And my other two colleagues. I have Budweiser and Ron Pilsner in the booth. Go ahead and say hello.
Hello.
Hey.
So quite a long off season and a lot of things have changed. I think it's about time we start the season. Fast time going through this is Titus again. This lap time he posted for the pole was a 49.551. Outstanding for him to put that on for us. And that is going to let us transition and we'll get ready for them to line up on the racetrack. So this is the shootout, of course. Daytona International Speedway. We are going to be here under the lights. And we will start by going through the field. Showing in order of qualifying, of course. Myself and Jim are going to go through the field. Starting out front, we have Titus Strabawhatever, and he'll be starting alongside Joey Sanders and the number 36 Toyota Camry.
And then followed by Caitlin Thibodeau in the number 92 iconic Toyota, alongside Joseph Onesto in the TN Designs Chevrolet Camaro.
Starting the race from row 3, we have Arthur Xavier, who won a race last year. He is next to Evan Coward, who won the finale at Texas.
And then they're followed by teammates out of the Toyota Meyer department, the number 15 of Austin Yoakum, and Brett Pritchard, the number 51 Bang Toyota.
Behind them, a newcomer for the Toyota League. This is previous Dodge team. That's Aaron Douglas from Western Auto Racing, and the number 21 Royal Purple Toyota starts alongside Kyle Keith in the 42 Chevy, sporting new sponsor Hooters.
And they're succeeded by Aaron Gabrana in the number 12 USG Sheetrock Ford Mustang, alongside the number 24 Scott Porter in another Hooters Camaro.
Previous champion as well, the defending champion of the series. And in the rounding out the field, we have Adam Douglas, also now in Toyota this year, made that switch over as well. Unsponsored, number 6 starts alongside Timmy Weathers and the Briars 35 Toyota Camry. So, Connor, you want to explain our issue with Dodge and why they left the sport?
They just couldn't handle it anymore. That's all it was. They got scared of the Toyota, so they left.
And out they are. So with the declining amount of manufacturer support from the end of the year, unfortunately Dodge has disbanded from the league. And we now have a lot of the teams jump shipped over to Toyota. The only one that didn't was Ben's team. And Bud, you have the inside source of why what was formerly known as Lubricar Motorsports, now dubbed as R4 Race Motorsports, is in Ford's now.
Yeah, I talked to Ben about this change, and he didn't feel right with Toyota, despite their success last season. He talked to Ford. He liked what they had to offer, and he liked their speedway program.
Nothing bad about that. Keeps the team going and better equipment. Of course, what you guys are looking at here on screen about all this jumbled info that we have in here. Daytona International Speedway, currently, of course, under the lights. It is a nice, crisp, cool 67 degrees. The track temperature is slightly warmer. It was scored at 68. Quite some wind tonight from the north section. We have a 6-mile-per-hour wind, so these drivers are going to have to keep that under control in the turns. We will see how they will handle with that.
We expect slick conditions today. Cars won't exactly have the best handling conditions, and also with the way these cars have been handled, we've seen a lot more loose conditions.
Is the 12 car the only Ford in this field?
I think so, because he was the only Ford that won last year. Ford struggled big time in 2019. They had one heat race win when we went to Knoxville, and they had one win, which was here at Daytona to start the season off. The command for green should be coming up shortly within the minute, and then the Porsche 911 pace car will lead the field around the track before we take the green flag. Something you may notice different about the cars this season is we're running a different aero package. Based on last year, we're no longer running the Chevrolet SS. We are now in the Camaro ZL1. So Chevy changed what they were actually using for their car. We got updates to the Toyota. Ford went from the Fusion to the Mustang. And of course with Dodge leaving. We changed spoilers. We still have the Lexan spoiler from the previous year. However, we are now using a 9-degree lip. That's to help with the high downforce part of the package, as well as a different splitter and air dam. All these should make the cars a little bit more able to pass and not bunch up as much as they used to. As you saw, that was quite dangerous from some previous races we've had. Expect something quite different this year.
And the field is rolling now as previous Ford factory driver Titus Strabawhatever, along with number 36 car, will be leading the field around on the pace lap.
Absolutely good under the lights. And if you paste your eyes to close attention from the 92 car, on the back of the car you will notice a baby Yoda on the TV panel. So, race picks today. Who's going to pick a driver? I'm going to actually have my bets on the 62 car of Ernesto. Who are you going to go with, bud?
Geez, there's so many good cars in this field. I mean, it's hard to pick one, but I think I'm going to go with the outside pole sitter here in the 36 car.
Not bad, not bad. Ron, what about you?
I'm going to pick the number 15. I think Yoakum can get it done today.
And Jim?
I'd say that the 62 car is the car to go with. Yeah, it showed a lot of speed in practice. We'll see how it goes. As we get going right here, the green flag is in the air, and this field is rolling.
Cars currently staying side by side with each other. Some more timing sprites. Slight spread. There we go. Up top.
The inside line has gotten going really early. They're quite gathered to see the outside lines coming together. Trying to get things under handle here early.
51 all by himself on that top line.
This could be planned, though, to go to the back and hook up the 35.
They could just want to gather themselves for a slight second and let Titus kind of enjoy the lead while he can. This is 62. He's going to try and make a break for the outside. He's got a Team Chevy driver. That is Kyle Keith up there trying to make a line happen.
Titus is hooked up with Peyton on the toe on the bottom line, along with the 86 and the 15 to Aussie Yoakum. Aaron Douglas and a lot more organized.
Adam Douglas, I believe we're seeing in the back, who has lost draft. Keep in mind, at lap 15, we will see a caution. Also, we will have one too within the final 5 laps.
Could be strategy. Remember the Douglas Autosports car aren't exactly. They've done well though with Thor Gunderson and Titus struggling with the tag team duo at the head of the team. They're trying to find a way back to the performance that they showed at the end of last season. It still be a long road ahead. As the field is lined up 3 abreast.
It's actually the opposite of what they designed this package to do. This is where it's gone for the night. We're still seeing the 3 out front. That is Evan Coward trying to he might have enough time, but not before they get to the corner to cut in front of him.
It's a strong Toyota packet on the bottom line. Right here, as you see Chevy's clean pack of top 2. All Toyotas lined up on the bottom, and that could be the difference here.
They're really trying to hold them off, but not much that they can do, or even try to cut down in front. He gets so close before they enter that corner, but there's just nothing he can really do to
The 09 car of Evan Coward had been cleared for the second. The second is still too short of a time. They have to get down there as soon as possible.
He's got to wait for that spotter to tell him he's clear, and there's not really enough time for him to tell him he's clear.
Our leader Titus has a strong open wheel background. He's too used to cars with fenders all the way around. It seems to be handling the super speedway racing package as good as you possibly can ask out of the guy with his background.
Not bad at all. Especially not from the way he did it. He handled Auto Club and Michigan the previous years. Almost won Auto Club and won Michigan. Dodge went back to back and won multiple races. Both of them out of the Manco handle from Adam's team. So they can get something done, and it looks like they're trying to start this season off nice and strong.
If Evan Coward, Joey Sanders, and Joseph Ernesto could just kind of back off here, gather themselves out, come down to the second row, get them a little more organized with more energy, more cars, they could probably make a run at this and get around the number 3.
Well, something too to kind of poke your eye at is the car I've noticed being aggressive so far tonight, and that's the 35 car. That is Austin Yoakum turning in the last line of the field. He has now worked his way into the second spot, and he's not afraid to move the car out of the way. Vaughn, seeing these cars go around on a package that was designed to keep them broken up, how do you think that they've managed to hold the arrow and actually act like a high downforce car?
Well, it's due to the number of cars we've got in this pack. I think that with more cars in the race, like we'll see in the coming weeks, the pack will be a little more spread out and more relaxed, or maybe even a little more hectic. But with the smaller pack here, we're going to see it more focused on the lines. Drivers that just have to try to keep themselves as focused as possible. Because we got a new leader here.
12 made
Aaron
one
Gabron being able to
heck of a move.
Wow. And he finally had the guts to pull it on. I don't think he was going to wait in here. Just got to be as aggressive as he possibly can. And he certainly is getting it done. The 21 car might be falling off here a little bit.
It's possible, but here it comes number 35 at Timmy Weathers. We apologize for the earlier mishap with Austin Yoakum, but Timmy Weathers is doing a good job in the second lane.
Really holding his own, even though that's been the quote-unquote sucker hole, that he's kept that middle lane going. And Gabron trying to do a block.
Man,
Watch
he's going to
out,
end up.
there's Titus.
This is going to be big trouble right here.
He gets loose.
Titus is trying to force his way into here. That's not quite going to end well.
You need to be careful. Hang on, there's a lot of room at the front, and there goes Scott Porter to the lead in the Hooter Chevy.
Defending champion, Scott Porter, actually.
Yes, defending champion. Thank you, Ron, for pointing that out. Evan Coward, though, he might go in. There he goes to the lead. Another lead change. That is Southern Pride Racing's 09 Chevy.
Titus is finding himself towards the rear of this inside line now.
And he was
See, now that they're losing the Toyota power, they really don't have the same energy on the inside line. The second that Ford got in front of that inside line, it broke the whole thing up.
He's certainly trying to get those Toyotas back up there. You can see both the 35 and the 36 car leading the front pack. The 21 and 51 is also there.
The 6 car is going to be in a lot of trouble when they come back around to him.
What do you think of these Toyotas, bud?
They're certainly looking really strong tonight, as kind of expected, though. I mean, Toyota was the class of the field last season, and they certainly shown no different performance this season.
They definitely do outnumber the field here tonight.
By far.
I think they outnumbered the
most.
whole field, honestly, even with all the cars.
Most of that being because of most of the Dodge cars going straight to Toyota. It's kind of evened out. It's a very nice even mix with Chevrolet, since another one of the Dodge teams went to Chevrolet. But externally, Toyota's got the best amount of cars in the field, especially tonight in the shootout. Interesting move there with the 62.
Arthur Xavier and Justin Nestor got real close right there.
Yeah, that was quite a block.
There's no reason to be blocking somebody in that position. It's just a precarious spot.
I'm not too I was too fond of that move either. But if they look at it, he gained a few positions out of it. So all to the power of the 62 car.
They're getting a little bit jumpy here. They know that they're getting ever so close to that halfway break. The intensity is wrapping up here.
So right before they call that caution, that way if they come down pit road, they will have the best as possible. Evan going to block the 51, needs to be careful, and some contact from the 24 car.
24 straight on his back bumper. They're going to lose this to
And
Timmy
look,
Weathers.
there we go. The wet weather's just pulled right in front of him, gave him the perfect amount of time for that. Apologize for the camera there. So weather.
Oh, there's a wreck.
Oh, we have. Where is it
A
at?
couple cars have gone into the wall. Apologize for the camera difficulties.
Yeah, it doesn't want to do anything.
It looks like Onesta might be involved. Arthur Xavier certainly has some damage.
Yes, he certainly does. We will check right back on this when we get to the midway points. What put him in the wall there? The few cars, and they're 4 wide, and the 51 car crowding the 36, and he puts him in the wall. That's Brett Pritchard putting a satellite team car in the wall. Wow.
I think the 36 backed off there instead of getting in the wall trying to save
I
the
saw the
teammate's
sparks.
car.
There were sparks off that car. Some sheet metal damage, contact there. Brett being really aggressive tonight. Miami Cola Bang Energy Toyota.
It's pretty much going to solidify Kyle Keith's lead to the halfway break as Titus makes a daring move.
Cuts him off. The Toyotas are not happy
now
with Pritchard.
we've got Austin Yoakum with some energy on the outside.
He's trying in that 15 state water heater Chevy.
That's
It's
a
not going to
Toyota.
matter on Brett Pritchard.
Toyota, my bad. I can't think tonight.
Must be the same person operating the camera.
I guess so. And we have 2 laps until we call the mandatory caution.
It's pretty much going to be Yoakum versus Kyle Keith right here. Just as long as they don't get a third lane going. If they get a third lane going, it's going to put momentum. I think the 42 knows that. They got to avoid
86.
Arthur Xavier.
And he holds him a
Oh,
big
wow.
time, all for Austin Yoakum to slip right on by. That's going to help the Team Toyotas. Let's see. Man, that held up that little gaggle of cars. That's the 42, 09, 24, 35, and 51. All kind of stuck behind that one Toyota. That was probably done on purpose to help out Yoakum, but hang on. Ooh, that's so close coming to the line. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to bring out this caution. This is lap 15. Slow. Need to be careful moving around that 86 so we don't get into each other. But speaking of the 86, let's go ahead and check out what happened
On lap 12.
on lap 12. This is heading into it. We're going to do the whole lap.
Looks like
And
Aaron-
right there, it looks like that was Aaron Douglas, and the 21 car is the one who got into the 86 car.
Probably
Oh,
wasn't too
looks-
fond of camping there.
Wait, it looks like the 86 came up into the 21, put him in the wall, and spun himself.
And that put damage on the 21 as well as the 62 of Joseph Ernesto.
Wow. All in the wall. Let's go ahead and we'll ride on board with the 62 car. We'll see this happen.
It looks like the 86 had kind of had some self-inflicted wounds right there. He came right across the nose of the 21. Wrong place, wrong time. You can see it right there. Ernesto is voicing his displeasure at the 21. Couple injured sharks here on lap 12.
Watch the cars go back through. Yeah, a lot of damage to the door panel. That 21 car. That's going to hurt Aaron and Arthur for the remainder of this race.
But it's going to help Adam Douglas out as he was badly about to fall to the emergency elite pack.
Certainly did need it. As we go through the field right now, it is just going to be Aaron and Arthur a lap down. They are going to receive a wave around. And they'll be put back onto the lead lap. So Aaron receives Lucky Dog, who will be making his way around the field. Arthur will just be the only one getting waved around then. See how bad they are once we get the race restarted. And currently leading the race, Austin Yoakum and his 15 car. We're going to go ahead and go through the field. Second place right now is Caitlin Marie. Third place we have Joey Sanders, Titus Strabawhatever, who was our pole sitter, Aaron Gabron in the 12 Arnold Carriers Ford. Scott Porter in the 6th spot is in the 24 Hooter Chevy. 51 of Brett Pritchard. Very aggressive driver tonight. We're in the 7th spot. Timmy Weathers 8th. Evan Coward 9th. Kyle Keith is 10th. Joseph Ernesto running 11th. Aaron Douglas in 12th with damage. Or my bad, that's Adam. Aaron is in 13th with damage. And Arthur 14th. That's all 14 of our drivers tonight. So far, nobody out of the race, but after everything that's been going on so far, Ron, how are you feeling about the race?
It's going really good. You know, the Toyotas, if they can keep hooked up, especially on the bottom line, they're almost unstoppable. And every so often, you know, the 12 kind of got up there for a little bit, but was quickly moved out the way.
We can see how well they will hold it off. They have a nice touch of cars that are just clean and fast, and others that are aggressive and moving out of the way. Toyotas are working very well tonight. Jim, what do you have to say though about the Chevys? Because they've had their limelight as well.
It seems like they're playing their main goal tonight is to just disrupt the Toyotas, get in their way, and try to get in between them. The Toyotas, when they're lined up, seem to really have the most energy and they're able to work the best together. But the second you get a Chevy into the line, as we saw early, it kind of breaks them up, and they got to regroup. And as we saw very early in the race, they had some troubles regrouping. It took until we got closer to the halfway break for them to really regather themselves. And if it's going to take 15 laps, it's going to be a good strategy for Chevy to try to continue to get in the way of the Toyotas and break them up, so that way they can't really get organized.
It's not bad at all. And Bud, our single Ford in the field. How do you feel about them?
He's doing all right. I mean, he's the only Ford in the field, so he's a lone dog right now. But he's, up there in the trying to get up there in the mix. We'll see how he does.
He's won here before. He can certainly do it again.
But he's got an uphill battle to climb, and he's somebody that's always wanted to have at least somebody else on his team at Alpine Motorsports. Just hasn't really quite worked out his way in recruiting wise, but being the lone wolf out here tonight, he's got his work cut out for him. He's just got to try to find a way to avoid the sort of differences between the Chevys and the Toyotas, and just try to forge his own path.
Well, I guess the
stay out of this rivalry.
The bad part about Ford, though, is that they lost Evan Coward's team last season, who was a Ford. They actually won. That's how Evan's in the field. That team disbanded. He's with a different team now. And then they had procrastination, which we all know how well that team does. They finish almost last every week.
The only really hope is a couple of the new Ford teams, one of them being Red Bull Racing, will in full effect this season. They have 2 cars entering. We'll see that in the next week. So it's going to be a new year for Ford. They have a new body, new teams, new cars, new sponsors. So hopefully they can do well.
And Rick Johnson is certainly excited for that team. He came into the league with the Manco Motorsports program, kind of fell out of that with the 28 car, lost his ride to the 88 of Titus Strabawhatever, who came over from Ford. And with Rick going to Ford, he really feels like he's kind of sort of getting back at the driver who took over for him to go into the Ford stable and replace him. Titus was one of the most promising roles for Ford, won championships in Formula 3 and Formula 4. So certainly Rick feels like he's got something cut out for him at Red Bull Racing, and they hope that they can get something going this year.
It's not bad at all. He started that team, and he got the sponsorship with Red Bull going, so hopefully he can keep that going as we are about to take the green flag once more.
Now with the green out, we see that the inside line is once again more organized here.
And that is going to be the only mandatory caution of the race. Because of just how close we're getting towards the end of this, we're going to leave that as just the only one unless they happen to wreck again. Now we're seeing the entirety of the field kind of still stay together. That 86 and 21 are still there, and this also gives Adam a chance to be caught back up with the field. More Toyotas are in with this bunch.
Yeah,
everybody's staying.
I'm really curious to see how the 6 is going to do now that it's actually in the pack.
It could have been strategy to just kind of stay out of the mess, try to work their way to the end. Certainly they're in the same lane as the number 3, their teammate, so it could just very well be the master plan of that team.
High and low, the Chevys in the middle. You see the Keith Motorsports cars at the front and back of that middle pack, with the previous Rex car 86 with some repairs on pit road, and it looks like that's not hurting them too bad. Both the 21 and 86 are staying with the field.
And Ernesto, who was the majority pick of the race, pulling in 50%, is rolling in strong at the right time. He's showing up. It could very well be his night tonight. Yoko with a aggressive move right there. He's going to shuffle everything up here.
Can I mention that we are 4 wide?
That's going to trouble his contact.
Contact. Marie backs off of the 24 car. That could have been disaster. That was good on her for not causing a big wreck at the front of the pack.
Isn't that what
it's really going to hurt that outside lane, though. Sometimes you just got to keep your foot in it, man.
And Carmo quickly catches up as he loses all aero. The 62 is going to be the only hope for the Chevys at the moment. We still have about 8 more laps to go.
86 hasn't wrecked enough cars tonight.
No, apparently he has not. 36 staying right there in suit with the 15, no matter the move up. That way they don't let the 12 car of Gabron take the lead again. '62 though, peeking out to the lead. And he's got the room, not enough time. He's been helped out there by fellow Chevy drivers. Look at that, it's Chevy versus Toyota.
We got the two Douglas Autosports cars nose to tail in the middle of the outside lane 2 with the number 6 and the number 3.
That looks like that's Scott Porter on the outside line trying to get something to go up there. Arthur Xavier follows him up there.
I don't know if I'd want that 86 behind me, though.
Well, he's got every power now in front of him, so they got enough to go, but they might be out of time. There goes the 62. He's trying. The Chevys are trying to get it going. They screwed up their whole aerodynamic, though, and the 86 just hit the wall, and he will lose the draft.
Oh, Aaron Gabron's trying to make a move right here. Comes to the outside lane.
86 is ejected.
Joey Sanders is going to try to make something happen here. Austin Yoakum let some air in for his teammate. That's good. Preacher's going to try to eject him.
Wow, he certainly tried, but not enough for him to move. Aaron Douglas is right there in that third spot of that bottom row. Don't count him out either.
Preacher wants to prove why he's a champion.
He's very aggressive. He's trying to continue that going into the night, and another bump to the rear quarter gun on that 15 car from the 51. Those are both Meyer Toyota Racing cars.
As Adam Douglas is now in the lead.
He scores that around.
He's going to stay with his teammate. He had a really good opportunity to come down in front of Austin Yoakum.
Team staying with teams with a heavy block to the front of the top line. The Toyota is 3 by 3.
The 3 leaders do have an alliance as Pritchard gave a nasty bump to Austin Yoakum. Got Yoakum loose right at the end of the corner.
He wants it bad. Adam and Titus are just waiting for them to make a mistake. They want to bring Douglas Autosport to the lead. Sanders is on the outside.
Could spell trouble for them, though.
Big time.
One bad bump from Pritchard is going to end the race for pretty much most of the
for everybody.
leaders.
For everybody.
I'm just waiting for a wreck.
Oh, we got 4 laps to go. Lap 26, 5. I don't know how to do math. They are going around in turn number
5
1.
laps to go.
Honestly,
right
I think the 21 might be in the best spot.
He really could, because if something happens to either of those cars, or other position-wise or move-wise, he could be right at the forefront.
Titus is giving a shove to Adam. Doesn't want Adam to try to leave him.
Hang on, we're about to go 4 wide again.
That didn't work so well the last 3 times.
And it's all Toyotas. Let's see what happens. And there's contact. That's Adam going into the wall.
There's a big wreck.
We have a wreck. Joey Sanders just spun out Adam Douglas. I think we stayed green.
Douglas is just trying to take care of that third lane and it
We
just didn't
stayed
quite
green.
end out for him.
Classic FARCA officiating.
And Adam is going to go down pit road. Sanders is going to be hurt with the 62 car, and Gabron in the 12. More bad luck for the Fords. Adam,
That's going to take Onesto out of the race too.
tough.
It could have
break.
just been strategy that just went wrong. It looked like they were trying to take the third lane out of the mix, and it just ended up backfiring on him. And some major contact with Joey Sanders, who's in an alliance with the Meyer Toyota Racing.
You've got to try. That's what this race is about. Is you've got to try. Did it go under caution? Because the 86. Oh no, the 86 is falling off. My bad.
But the 86 has hit the wall 3
Wait.
different times. Don't worry about that.
I don't know how that car is still up there. Brett Pritchard going to the outside. They're going to the classic style version of this racing. They don't have the arrow of enough cars to keep up. We have just a few more laps to go.
Bets are off. Oh, the 21's going to get stuck on the outside with no help.
He's going to hurt. He's going to go straight to the back part of this field.
Cal Keith is
Gonna get
making a
shuffled
daring
as
move.
well, but there goes the 35 car. Timmy Weathers into the second spot. Bring walking strong on both that middle and that lower lane.
Yoakum's got to do what he can. Said Timmy Weathers on his tail.
Brett Pritchard with some arrow from the 21 car is trying to get that outside lane moving from as much as they possibly can. He can probably get an aggressive block.
Titus is really trying to get something going, and it's just not quite going to work for him.
35 blocked as well on the 42 car, but that's going to allow Scott Porter, the previous champion, to move up, but he blocks him as well.
Yoakum's got it in the bag right here. There's 2 laps to go. Looks like Titus is going to get a run on him.
Look at this, Titus! 3 wide for the lead.
There's only 2 cars in the middle, and they seem to be making it work better than either line. It's just Caitlin and Titus too. Oh, something's wrong with the 86.
86 and 21 are coming down pit road. Are we running out of fuel? A fuel mileage race that ends up being the 15 car leading as we are on the white flag.
They might just have had a problem because they were involved in an earlier wreck.
That's true, they both were.
Maybe they're just going to fight on pit road while the rest of them just kind of finish this out.
And would it be the first time that Western Auto Racing fought after the race? Knoxville.
Looks like Titus is going to lose all chance at it here. Austin Yoakum's going to just be able to run away with this. Nobody is going to have a
Here's
chance.
Porter trying to peek to the inside, though. Nothing he can do.
Leaving a lane open, though.
Titus, he's trying to get something for him for the outside. I don't think there's enough time for anything. And it's going to be Austin Yoakum. Checkered flag at the shootout at Daytona.
It's almost like somebody picked him to win.
Almost. Oh. Well, a huge congratulations to the Meyer Toyota Racing organization for starting the 2020 year off with a win. That is the 15-car State Water Heater Toyota Austin Yoakum. He will win tonight for the shootout, and that will be receiving of 5 additional bonus points for Chase. Scott Porter receiving 4, Brett Pritchard receiving 3, Kyle Keith receiving 2, and Caitlin receives 1. And as you can see here, that is going to be your official results. A race finish was 0.74 for the finish. A nice, close race. Well,
we need to go back and see what happened to the 6.
Yeah, let's check this out. We're going to let this finish a closeout first before we jump back. There we go. Let's go ahead and check out what happened with the 6 car. Because, man, he had a considerable amount of damage, too. Because right as they'll bunch up here, they get 4 wide, and it was all Toyotas. It was the Sanders and the Oscar Mayer Camry on the outside.
It's just trying to prevent Sanders from getting any quarter.
I mean, you have to. At this point in the race, you have to.
It was just trying to protect Titus's position.
He must hate it for those guys
And
on that
that's
6
just-
team.
Yeah, I hate it for them and the 36 car because both of those cars had a really strong run tonight, and you have to hate it as well for the 12.
And the 62.
The 62 had
see the
2
track
wrecks
bar
in front of
broke
him.
on the rear of the 6 on impact.
Yeah, if you look at the angle, watch the tire just kind of flopping around.
Oof.
Man. Good save up there at the top of the racetrack for him, though. And if we take a look back at that first impact, right here, it shows us that he hit that wall at 150 miles an hour. And for the fun of it, since we checked earlier and on the 62, why don't we look at that again? You can just see how far out that 36 they were, man. That could have been way worse, though, so good job on all of them for gathering that up. But in the end, it belonged entirely to Austin. And you can see even at the last second,
A big shove from Brett Pritchard, but it just wasn't enough.
nah, nowhere near enough. And that there is the win for Scott Porter. Or Scott Porter in second. Austin Yoakum winning. I'm looking right at the 24 car and talking. So, what a way to start the season off. But, any words to say before we close this off?
What a race. It was definitely a great opener to what we can look forward to this season here in FARCA.
50 laps is what we'll have next week for Daytona. That'll be, of course, a evening race. Look forward to that. Also, I think we could do something longer for that. This was 30 laps. I think 65 would be better. We might just have to go longer. So that was good. And this has been myself, Ken Stout.
And Jim Porter.
I'm Ron Pilsner.
And I'm Budweiser.
And we will see you guys next week.